So you clicked on this video because you feel kind of guilty, and although I don't know you personally, I can probably guess pretty well why it is you clicked on this video. It's summer, and so obviously the last thing in your mind is school. So your sleep schedule is absolutely cooked. You've been like going to sleep at like 2, 3 a.m, even like later than that. You've been going out, having friends, watching Netflix, scrolling, doing all of these things. So that's completely fine. But you also are kind of worried about school. You tell yourself that like this school year you're going to be different. Maybe your exams didn't go as well as you hoped, and maybe you have like homework that you have to do, and you are telling yourself kind of that you're like, this school year it's going to be like a new timetable, new year, new me. And I also said that every single year, but nothing ever changed. I surveyed like 30,000 students the other day about what the most common sentiment is, like feeling that they get in school, and it's that they're disappointed in their results because they knew that they could have done better. And that feeling is so avoidable if you just do these 5 things before going back to school. And they're not crazy big things, but it's the 5 things that I started doing before like starting a new school year that was the start of my academic comeback, that stopped me from like mediocre grades that I was getting all 9s at GCSEs, 45 in the IB. I'm genuinely making me one of the top students globally. And I don't say this to flex, but I just want to prove to you that becoming a top student, getting good grades, is about small steps that other students won't do in summer. But it's these small things that do add up and do matter, and it will set you up for a year of success. So don't skip these 5 things. And the first thing takes such little time, but I want you to do it straight after this video, is to get a piece of paper, not your phone, not Notion, and not like a notes app, but a paper. And I want you to draw out the full school year on it. So starting September, I want you to draw like a calendar thing, right? Like a little calendar box of September, October, November, all the way up until like June or July, etc. And so that you have like a kind of a year calendar, right? And then you can kind of see that it's not really a year because you're starting now, and then you have summer holidays, and so it's like only what, like 9 months really. And then I want you to cross out like the holidays you have, and then also mark your mocks and when your exams are in red, and then filter out the weekends as well, like national holidays, etc. And then just look at it. Because for example, just before I started my year 11, I did this, and I realized like most of the year I don't even go to school because of weekends and holidays, like a third of them. And then there's like a 3-week like mock period and like GCSE exam season for like the last 2 months. There was a bunch of like half terms and stuff, and so the number of days I had between now and exams wasn't that much. And being able to visually see that, because when you start a new school year, you kind of think, oh, I have the whole of year 11 or like I have the whole of year 10 to get started. People treat like the start of the year as like the warm-up phase. Psychologists call it planning fallacy, and basically they did a study that like where they gave university students a task to predict like when they would finish their thesis. They gave and they were told to give like a realistic estimate and a worst case estimate, but more than half of the students actually like went past the worst case estimate. And it's simply because of the fact that, like I said, we're bad at predicting how much time we have left. And that's why when you say at the start of the school year, all right, this year's going to be different, and then you wait for the start of the school year to act, before you know it, it's like you have mocks. Before you know it, it's the real exams, and the whole year's gone. That's why before it's like school starts, even if it's like a week or 2 before, now plan out your year, see where your exams are, see where your holidays are, and you can kind of start planning for your deadlines now. And then what I would always do at the start of the school year is just like stick that up on a wall where it's really visible, just so that I was starting the school year knowing exactly when everything would be happening and starting off with a proper game plan. And the second thing I want you to do is like, once you've like had your roadmap or your plan of like the school year, so think about the worst case scenario. Like what could make it so that you fail your exams? And this is a really like well-known thing. It's called a pre-mortem that like experts do in the research field, where instead of planning how everything like will go or like being optimistic, you sit down and you imagine it's already failed, and then you work backwards from there. Because if you foresee like what might happen, like worst case, and then you kind of make a backup plan or like work how to prevent that from happening, when that worst case does like happen, you're already prepared. So for example, what I mean is whenever the new school is about to start, I think like, okay, what could go wrong? And like there's like some silly things, right? There's some really obvious things like, okay, I might get like really sick or ill, like I might break both my legs, and then I can't go to school, I miss a bunch of days, and that's pretty bad, but that's pretty like unavoidable on my part, right? There's some things that are really are avoidable, but would be just as detrimental as that. For example, wasting like time scrolling 4 hours a day every day. That's a lot of time that's going to be gone down the drain. And for me, like I knew myself pretty well. I knew that would be a big time sink. Video games like Netflix, like all of these things are pretty good and fun, but I knew that they would be a big time sink, and I knew that being addicted on my phone would be like a big factor in me not getting the grades that I wanted to. And how would I block that? Before going back to school, it's probably a good idea to start getting in the habit of studying again. I promise you, after a long summer of doing nothing, like no studying at all, scrolling every day, and like with a cooked sleep schedule, it is harder than you think. You will not adjust as quickly as you think. And so that is why like whenever like just before I go back to school, I would start like studying like if like even if it's not like proper studying, I'd force myself to, like, even if it's just 10 minutes, to get back into the habit of doing things that require a little bit of discipline, and making sure that I wasn't scrolling all day, setting up like the screen time things if it was needed, rearranging my phone, deleting apps, etc. It sounds pretty crazy, but that is what top students do, and it is what it takes. And then whether, like, it could be other things that you foresee, like, I don't know, that one friend, or like going out too much that takes up a lot of your time. Like, think about and literally write down what it is you think might happen and how you could like circumvent it or like prevent it from happening, right? And you make like a really specific if then statement, and it's really important if it's that it's like specific. So for example, if it's past 11 p.m. and I've got my phone in my hand, then it goes in the drawer and I go to sleep, right? Because sleep is very important, and if I have a cooked sleep schedule, I know that could be a reason that I have get bad grades. Having a really specific like if and then, so that it's like not vague in the moment, is really important, and it works really well in making sure that you don't do that habit and that like behavioral cycle that you know will be bad for you. And the third thing, once you've done that, is to set up your space and tools. It's a new school year. Clean up your like school OneDrive system, clean up your files, clean up your notes, organize them, because if you're going into like year 11 from year 10, it's going to build on top of the topics you did in year 10, right? If you're starting like a brand new like chapter of your academic career, so like you're going into college, sixth form, etc., make sure you have a new folder like dedicated to where everything is going to go. I promise you, organization isn't just about like being able to find things and like having like an organized system, although that is a really big plus. It's about friction. When something is hard to do, even if you add like the slightest bit of friction, like not knowing where your study notes are and it takes like 1 second longer to find than it would have if you had it organized, those small things, you'd be so surprised, add up, and it would make it so that you don't want to study. Science proves this again and again in like behavioral sciences. Just by moving the fruit bowl from like here to here, like fruit consumption increased by like 50% because people could be bothered to move their eyes like the extra like 2 degrees. Point being, it's similar to that. If you have your study stuff all organized and you know what you're going to use, stationery, pens, and it's all pre-decided and you're ready to go, I promise you'll find yourself studying far more, and all of these things add up. So make sure you have that already and done beforehand, because studying alone and relying on motivation is the least reliable system there is. There's actually a psychological finding called social facilitation, and it's basically that students or people in general will perform better on things when somebody else is also present doing it with them, doing it with your friends and like people around you, right? And so that's why me and my friends actually created an app for this, where you can study with your friends or with random strangers, and it's going to keep you motivated and locked in even on days where you don't feel like studying. And it's called Focus Town, and it's free to download. You hop on, you study with your friends or with other people, like exactly like it sounds like. It times your study sessions and it reduces the friction of studying, and it makes it something that's fun, enjoyable, and it keeps it streak for you. And the whole reason that we made it is so that you don't need to rely on motivation. And Focus Town makes it like a fun experience where you're also surrounded by others, so you have that extra bit of like motivation and accountability. Check out Focus Town, and you can search it up on like your app store. It's completely for free, and you might catch me studying on there as well in one of like the library rooms. And the fourth thing I want you to do is know where you are properly and know where you're going to prioritize your year. I want you to divide, like when you have your planner, into threes, right? Into thirds. Like the first like month, like the first like 3 months, then the second 3 months, and then the third 3 months, for example, before your exams. And then within each of those as well, I want you to write down specifically what subjects are you weak at and what you want to focus on in the first 3 months. Like, for example, in the first 3 months, I might want to focus on maths because that's my weakness. Then in the second one, I might want to focus on English, and then I might want to focus on like exam technique in the third one. Point being, it's different for everyone, but you're going to have a weak subject, right? And you already kind of know it. Going into the year, knowing exactly what it is you want to focus on and spend extra time on, and making all of these decisions beforehand when you haven't started school is really important. That's why for me, like before I start, when I set up all my folders, I like edit or put it on the screen, but I deliberately color code my subjects based on my strengths. So maths was in red, then English was in amber, then some of them were in green, others in amber. Point being, I knew exactly going in like how I would be allocating most of my time, because you're going to get unexpected pockets of time, and like whether it be in your study sessions or like time where you have to revise, knowing where and like how you're going to split up your time and use it effectively is really important. And so knowing where you are and planning ahead for and knowing like what you're weak at is going to be really important. And the kind of like quick kind of final last thing that I wanted to do is decide and kind of know what it is that you're giving up. It leads on from what I was just saying about prioritizing, but basically whether it be like kind of hobbies and like you have like the kind of like new year excitement, like you're going to do gym, you're going to go out with your friends, you're going to do all these different things, and you're also going to become a top student. Like that's all great and all, But deciding beforehand and like kind of thinking about what it is you're going to actually give up and what it is you're going to focus on is really important. Choose 3 things that you want to stick to. So your school and academics is one thing. Choose a sport, choose one hobby, but then on the other ones, it might be a good idea to kind of sidelight them and decide that before you start the school year. The amount of points and like dedication that you can give is pretty limited. And so although I am an advocate of doing a sports and a hobby, etc., because I also did that and I genuinely do believe it like boosts your academics, don't be the person who tries to do all of these kind of things and expect your output in studying to be just as strong, because at the end of the day, there is only a limited amount of time you can give. So yeah, before you go in, know exactly what it is you're going to like sacrifice and what it is that you are going to focus on, and knowing that will make it your new school year far more streamlined and better. So I hope you found that video useful. The 5 things that you should do: plan your year, work out do like the pre-mortem, like figure out what might stop you, set up your space and tools organization, find out where you actually are in terms of your subjects, and then also prioritize, decide what you're giving up. Those are the main things. Hope you found this video useful. Make sure to check out Focus Town. It's free. But yeah, if you found this video useful, leave a comment, check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.